Hello student, this is your chapter 3, How a State Government Works, part 2. In our part 1, we studied about the types of elections in India, then the government system followed by different countries, like India follows federal system, China follows unitary system, countries like Soviet Union, they followed confederal system. Then we studied about who is MLA. Then the last topic was the result of elections to the Legislative Assembly of Himachal Pradesh in 2012. The same example is given in your book, but that is the result to the election of the Legislative Assembly of Himachal Pradesh in 2007. Now students to review the example from the book from page number 112 and 113. What you have to do, write the following questions and find out the answers. See the example and then evaluate which political parties are participating in that election. Number 2, which party's MLA is getting more elected? Number 3, which is ruling party and which is opposition party? Number 4, whose party's leader will become the chief minister of the state? So these are the questions. So once you will get the answers of these questions, it means you understand this topic. So the answers we will discuss in our Zoom class. Now, who is MLA? MLA is considered to be the member of Legislative Assembly. M for member, L for legislative, A for assembly. Now, how he is elected? He is elected representative of people. Who is electing them? People elects them. People give vote, and the person who gets major vote, he becomes the MLA. Actually, in election, there are different political party. First step is the nominations. Different political parties, they give their nomination. The people give their nomination and then they stand on behalf of their party from a particular constituency. If we talk about Himachal Pradesh, see this example, there are 68 constituencies. So now from each constituency, one person will be from Bharatiya Janata Party, one representative will be from Indian National Congress, they can be independent, they can be from Aam Aadmi Party. Now from each constituency, one candidate will stand. So in this way, out from all 68 constituency, candidates will be there. So the people of the particular area will give vote to them, and who will get majority of vote, that person will become the MLA. Now if we talk overall in Himachal Pradesh, which party's MLA will get more votes? Like, in order to gain majority in an election, political party needed to win more than 34 seats. If it is 68, there are 68 constituencies. If a political party wanted to be in the government, they wanted to be a ruling party, then they needed to win more than 34 seats. More than 34 seats. Now you can see from this example, Indian National Congress is winning 36 seats. So in this way, more MLAs are from Indian National Congress. So whose leader will become the CM? Indian National Congress. And followed by this Indian National Congress, Bharatiya Janata Party is getting more seats, more MLAs, 26. Bharatiya Janata Party will be considered as opposition party. Indian National Congress will be considered as ruling party. Here the independents, like those who do not belong to any party, they also will be considered as opposition party. Okay, now move back. These representatives, they get elected and become the member of Legislative Assembly, and in this way they form the government of the state. The way I told you here how they are forming a government of a state, here the Indian National Congress will become the government of the state. So the way we did here in 2012, Veerbhadra Singh was the Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh. I hope till here the things are clear to you. If still there is some doubt, we will be clearing it in Zoom class. Now, in order to understand the working of the government at state level, let us visualize a session in the Legislative Assembly. There are total 6 MLAs. There are 6 MLAs who are taking active part in the discussion. The others are just listeners to the whole conversation. So there are not only MLAs and ministers, there are some listeners also who actually conclude and they listen the conversation. Let us start with the MLA1. What MLA1 is saying, this is given, this is the same content from your book, page number 114. Students, to have your book before. So MLA1, what MLA1 is saying, MLA1 is saying there have been many deaths in my constituency. He lives in Shastri Nagar, so he's talking about Shastri Nagar. According to him, the reason of the death is diarrhea. He's saying there have been many deaths and the reason of the death is diarrhea. He's trying to draw the attention of the minister in charge of the health as to what is being done to control the situation. Then MLA2, he is asking question to health minister that why situation in government hospital is so bad. Why is the government not appointing medical staff? Then he also asked the question to the government that what the government is planning to control this disease, what the government is planning to control the problem. Then MLA third MLA is talking about his constituency where he lives, civil lines. So he is telling that in my area, in my constituency, there is extreme shortage of water supply. Now what the measures have been taken by the government. Now MLA4 is talking about the availability of clinic and the distribution of ORS packets. Students, here just you need to listen carefully. MLA1, MLA2, MLA3 and MLA4, they all are talking about the problems. Somewhere MLA1 is talking about death, MLA2 is talking about the medical staff, MLA3 is talking about the shortage of water, whereas MLA4 is saying that in my opinion, my member friends are blowing up the problem out of proportion. He is saying the government has pressed water tankers into the service to water supply twice. As for the case of diarrhea, ORS packets have been distributed in the affected areas and several teams of doctors have also been sent. A mobile clinic has also been pressed into the service. Now he gave answers to all three MLAs. To first MLA, he is telling we have provided ORS packets. Then to second, he is saying we have medical staff. To third MLA, he is giving answer that we have provided the water tankers into the service to supply water twice. So MLA 5, according to him, he is saying yes, the medical staff is there, but your staff is always on leave. What is the reason why there is not a check? He is saying we have not been able to assess the situation properly. According to him, the condition is going from bad to worse. Most doctors and staff, they are there, but they are always on leave. So it is difficult to get the ORS packets delivered to the families in some of the areas. Now he again he debated with MLA4 and he gave answers to his response. Now MLA 6th is talking about the members of the opposition, like they are without any reason, they are blaming the government. According to him, the previous government did not give enough attention to the health sanitation. He is saying we are now cleaning the garbage. We are now cleaning up the garbage that was left by the previous government. Now you see, students, if we conclude this conversation, you see MLA1, MLA2, MLA3 and MLA5. They all are talking about the positive, or we can say they all are talking minus points, that there is death, then there is no medical staff, shortage of water, medical staff is on leave. Whereas MLA4 and MLA6, MLA4 is saying he is giving answer to all first three MLAs that we are providing ORS packets, there is mobile clinic, water tankers are also provided. MLA6 is saying that we are doing all work. So according to him, he is blaming the previous government of the previous year that they did not give enough attention to the health and sanitation, and they are cleaning up the garbage that was left by the previous government. Now student, I'm not going to tell you this, I want answer from you and students to WhatsApp me the answer, write it on a paper and tell me. Now from this MLA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Which MLAs are from ruling party and which MLAs are from opposition party? It is very clear from the conversation, from this debate. So whom you think are from ruling party and which MLA are from opposition party? Write it on a paper and WhatsApp me. Okay, let us move to the next topic. Next topic is role of media. Now, in this way, we find that the opposition MLAs, they were blaming the health minister. They were blaming the health minister, and the health minister was blaming the previous government. They were blaming the previous government that they have not done the work. So we are completing their work. We are cleaning the garbage and other things. So what is the role of media in this? The media plays an important role in the session. Media is an important section of the society and play a crucial role in functioning of government. During press conference, reporters, they ask responsible minister as to what is being done about the certain problem. So what problems were discussed in that assembly? The media, they ask a question to the responsible minister as the issue was related to health. So in this way, the reporters will ask question from the health ministers only, that what you have done now, what you are going to do to get the solution of the problem. Media plays an important role in the formation of public opinion also. Now, after heated debate, after this debate in the assembly, the health minister called a press conference. A large number of reporters and editors from different newspapers and channels, they were present over there. And then minister, he explained the reason for the outbreak of the disease and steps being taken by the government. So whatever the problem was discussed, problem of diarrhea, problem of water shortage, problem of medical staff, all these issues he will discuss, and then in press conference the minister will explain. He will explain the reasons for the outbreak of the disease and steps being taken by the government. Now he will also explain the measures being taken by the argument with the water supply. The reporter asked several questions one by one to clarify certain points, and the minister, he tried to put blame on the previous government. As I told you, it is always happening whenever the media is asking some question to the present minister or from minister from a ruling party, they always question the previous government, previous party, previous ruling party. So in the same way here also the minister tried to put the blame on the previous government, but here he was supported by his secretary who also explained certain points. And then next day, all prominent channels, every TV channels, they reported the press conference. What was discussed in the press conference, they will show all on the TVs. After a few days, the chief minister along with the health minister and local MLAs, they visited the affected area where the problems were, like Shastri Nagar and the civil lines. So he promised to soon set up a committee to examine the problem. The committee would report within a month. The government would take necessary steps as per recommendation of the committees. See students, now it is very clear from here that whether they were from the people, the MLAs, those who were speaking from opposition party, but it becomes the duty of the minister to go and to have a check. So the same way chief minister also did. After few days, the chief minister along with the health minister, and with the local MLAs, he visited that affected area, that Shastri Nagar where there was a death, the civil line where there was a shortage of water, and then he promised the people over there that they will get the solution of this problem very soon. Chief minister is very responsible to the public. They are very responsible to the public. They are answerable to the public. It is a duty to the people. It is duty to keep people very happy and healthy in his state. The chief minister monitors the functioning through various departments like public works department, health department, agriculture department, education department, forest department, and many more. The minister in charge of the department is answerable to the chief minister. The way I am saying, chief minister is answerable to the public. He has to give answer to the public why this work is not done, because people have the power to ask the question. In the same way, Chief Minister has appointed the minister in charge of the department. He has appointed Health Minister. He has appointed Agriculture Department Minister. He has appointed Education Minister. So here Chief Minister will ask questions to these ministers. So these ministers are answerable to Chief Minister, and they all together they are responsible for all the activities. Okay, student, this is the last topic of your chapter, state legislature. The way we covered about parliament is for the center, likewise state legislature is for the states. Functions of parliament is to enact laws for the territory of India. Unlike India, state legislature enact laws for their state. So every state they have their own legislator. So there is a minor difference in parliament and in state legislature. The way parliament has two houses, lower house and upper house, state legislature also has two houses, lower house and upper house. To lower house it is Vidhan Sabha, upper house is Vidhan Parishad. Let me mark it for you. Lower house Vidhan Sabha and upper house Vidhan Parishad. Now the members of Vidhan Sabha, they are known as MLA, whereas upper house they are known as MLC, member of Legislative Council. You should know these words. MLA stands for member of Legislative Assembly. MLC stands for member of Legislative Council. Now let us move to the tenure. The tenure for MLAs is 5 years, whereas for Vidhan Parishad it is 6 years, and it is a permanent house. Legislative Council is a permanent house. Now move to this point, the membership. In Vidhan Sabha there cannot be more than 500 members or less than 60 members. But yes, it can have less than 60 members only through the Act of Parliament. As there are some cases like some small states like Goa, Sikkim, Mizoram and the Union Territory of Puducherry. So you should know the maximum members are 50 and minimum members are only 60. But yes, through the Act of Parliament they can have less number of members. It is for the states like Goa, Sikkim, Mizoram and Union Territory of Puducherry. Now MLC, member of Legislative Council Vidhan Parishad, it is a permanent house and is never dissolved. 1/3 of the members they retire after every 2 years, and only 6 states have a Legislative Council: Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Telangana. Telangana is the state who get the recent Vidhan Parishad. This is your state executive. Now we have already discussed about it in our Zoom class also, and here also that in state who is the head of the state? Governor is the head of the state, whereas chief minister is to be considered as a political head of the state. Then chief minister has some council of ministers. These are the council of ministers. Then these are the cabinet ministers of state and deputy ministers. So this all is the state executive. Okay, this is a slight small difference just to make it more clear: the state legislative assembly and legislative council. Legislative assembly. Vidhan Sabha is the lower house of the state legislature, which represent the people of the state. If we talk about the meaning, then meaning is Vidhan Sabha is lower house, Vidhan Parishad is upper house. Now elections. Vidhan Sabha direct elections, means they will be through voting, whereas Legislative Council they are indirect elections. They are not through voting, they are nominated. So next is nature. Legislative Assembly is temporary, whereas Legislative Council is permanent. Then next is the members. As we did just now, the members maximum is 500 and minimum is 60, but through the Act of Parliament they can be less than 60. Students, to remember, this is not given in your book, but it is important to know that through the Act of Parliament there are some states those who can have less than 60 members, states like Goa, Sikkim, Mizoram and Union Territory of Puducherry. Then members of Legislative Council, 1/3 of the total member of the state assembly, but it should not be less than 40. Then the age limit. In legislative assembly, minimum age for the ML for being a MLA is 25 years, whereas for the minimum age for the member of legislative council, it should be 30 years. Now the speaker, who is the speaker in legislative assembly? Who is the presiding officer in legislative assembly? Speaker. Here is the chairman. So this was the end of this topic. These are some keywords, key terms which you should know. The important, like first is governor. Who is governor? Governor is the head of the state. He is appointed by the central government. How he is appointed? He is appointed by the central government. Then third, he makes sure that state government works within the rules and regulation of the constitution. Actually, the governor is the representative of the president of our country. So his duty is to make sure that government should work within the rules and regulation of the constitution. Next is the chief minister. Chief minister is the leader of ruling party. He is the political head of the state. Governor is the head of the state and chief minister is the political head of the state. Here chief minister is the leader of ruling party. We already did how minister becomes a, how MLA becomes a chief minister, how minister become a chief minister. The number of majority of the votes, then they select their leader and then they choose that leader as a chief minister. And who appoints chief minister? Governor appoints chief minister and other minister. The head of the ruling party, here it is he written here, it is the head of the ruling party works with the various minister in the states. Then chief minister is appointed by the governor. Your final recapitulation. So students, there I have given few questions. Please write the answers in comment box or send me WhatsApp. Write only answers. Sequence should be same. Don't change the sequence. So who appoints the chief minister of state? Who is MLA? Name some of the political parties in India. The party that is at the center. The party that is ruling at the center is called what? Which party? A place where MLAs gather to deal with the problem of the state and make laws for the state is called what? If you remember here, we studied one example, one debate on health issue where 6 MLAs were present. So you have to tell the place where MLAs gather to deal with the problems of the state and make laws for the state is called what? Name the houses of parliament. Now last is which system India follows? Federal, unitary and confederal system. So you can write answers in my comment box or you can send me in WhatsApp. We will be discussing your doubts in our Zoom class.